Right, no more complaining about how things aren't going my way here at Hamburg. No more trying to get them to play the Hamburg way. We're going back to doing things where we did them at Fulham. We're bringing back the Fulham tactic, and we're going to charge up the league table with it, because that's what we did when we were there. And it will surely work here too. Hello and welcome to Club 5, Part 3 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Europa League game at home against Zenit, and then we're away against Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga. Since you were last with me, I'm tempted to just flash it up on screen for like a second and then make it disappear again. We've not won a game. We've scored 3 goals. We haven't won a game, and we haven't got a point in the league since you last watched. But you know, let's take the positives. We're not bottom yet, and that's good. Let's go and play Zenit. There's no positive spin I can put on it. This is the team that we're going to be putting out there against Zenit. We are going back to the 4-3-3, the exact system we used at Fulham, in the hope that lightning strikes twice. Remember, Fulham were a team who were struggling in the Championship when we arrived, and rammed a load of square pegs into round holes into this tactic, and we charged up the league. It was like it was magic. I do acknowledge if that happens again, there's a chance it might be an overpowered tactic, but you know, worth a try, innit? I don't want to get fired. I've got that greenhouse to pay for. If this doesn't work, I'm going to give this a month. I'm expecting to not get sacked, which the board are still satisfied at the moment, but I'm giving this system at least to the month of November. If it doesn't work, in the background, ready for when we face rock bottom Braunschweig. Is that how you would say that? Braunschweig? No idea. But ready for when we play them, I will cave in, and we've got a gegenpress. That's just the standard 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. We're in Germany. That's German. That might be the way to do it. But we're not using that today. We're using the Fulham system, the control possession, 4-3-3. And we're going with Meyer in goal, a back four of Friedel, Zagadou, Bayer and Hadrovic, with Mori as the halfback. Adli and Janjevicic. Someone did tell me how to pronounce that. A few people told me in the comments how to pronounce it, and I can do it in my head, but I still can't do it with my mouth yet. And then a front three of Ito, Van Emmerich and Chaton, who, I'm tempted to order a Hamburg shirt with Chaton on the back, just because, well, sums up the save so far, this part of it. Let's get into the game. Anyway, where's my coffee? I need coffee to get me through this. This is nonsense. I would like to address some of the comments we've had, though. I have already done it on Twitter. I had a bit of a Twitter rant yesterday morning. Right, hold on. Media have been on your backs for ages. Yeah, let's prove them wrong. And by media, I mean some elements of the comments section who were quite critical of the move. Let me, again, and this will be the last time I explain the move, but a lot of people saying, Kev, it was a downward step going from Fulham to Hamburg. It wasn't. It was kind of a sideways step. I acknowledged at the time it was a sideways step. It was meant to be a sideways step with 1-0 up. See, this tactic works. Forget that Zenit aren't very good. But it was a sideways step because we couldn't make the next step up with Fulham. We'd been at Fulham, 4 years? We were a perennial Europa League qualifying team. It's people saying you were going to get in the Champions League this season. No, we weren't. We weren't going to get in the Champions League. We were going to finish 6th or 7th again, and it was going to be boring, and we were just going to keep finishing 6th or 7th, and we were never going to get anywhere. And not only that, I wasn't going to get a better job in England, because nobody's going to offer, no Champions League club in England will offer the guy who constantly finishes 6th or 7th in the Premier League a job. Look at real life in the Premier League. When was the last time one of the big 4 regular Champions League qualifying clubs looked down at the upper mid-table of the Premier League and said, yeah, I'll take you? I had a little look. The last time it happened was David Moyes, and that didn't really turn out very well, did it? And no one does it anymore. So yeah, we were never going to make that step up. So rather than trying to bludgeon Fulham through into the Champions League, which was going to take years to do, or just wait and never do it, I thought, well, let's take a step over to Germany. It's a slightly easier league. Let's pick a similar team in Germany. Or, I mean, it didn't have to be Germany. It could have been Italy. It could have been Spain. Van Emmerik makes it 2-0. But let's go and pick a similar team in another country and prove that Fulham wasn't a fluke. Let's go and do the same thing again there. And we'll be at Hamburg 2 years tops, because we'll either have proven that we've repeated a 6th or 7th place finish and got back in the Europa League and done a Fulham here at Hamburg. I'm not expecting a Champions League finish with Hamburg. That was never the plan. But we'll do that, and then either a bigger club in Germany will say, look, he's just turned up in Germany and turned Hamburg around really quickly. That's good. Let's hire him. Or we then go and do it in Spain or Italy or France. And we just keep going doing it again and again and again until we build up that track record of, actually, this guy does know what he's doing. Look, he's done it at 4 clubs now. Let's give him that big job. Or we might fluke into a fallen giant, which you could argue is Hamburg, but they just fell a long time ago and fell very far. So it's a little bit different from picking up I've messed up that team talk there because I'm not really concentrating on it. It's a little bit different from picking up a team that's still got a Champions League squad but finished 9th. That's the ideal. That's what we're looking for, because then we can just get straight back in the Champions League and get in by cheating. But this is the way we've had to do it. This is the current plan. And to me, it meets criteria both in terms of realism, because in real life, that's absolutely what I do. In real life, I turned 37 this year, and I've never had a job, the same job, for more than 2 years in my life. The closest I've ever got is this YouTube channel, which I know I've been doing for more than 2 years. It's been my job since August 2017. So actually, this is the close. But what am I going to do when it hits the 2-year point? I'm going to have to try something else. I probably won't. Don't panic. But I've never done the same thing for more than 2 years. I get really bored. And I was getting pretty bored of Fulham. And also, from a video point of view, if we take the realism of the save out for a second, just from a video point of view, doing the same thing with the same club season after season is really boring, and I wouldn't sit and watch that for a month. We already had 2 months at Fulham, 6 weeks at Fulham of actual real world game time, and not much was happening, was it? We need to go. I'd rather be in a relegation battle with Hamburg from a video point of view than mid-table with Fulham. And from a career point of view, I'd rather go and try and do it again somewhere else than just doing the same thing over and over again at Fulham and getting bored of it. So it's absolutely the right decision on all counts. But I know there's going to be the glory hunters who say, Kev, it wasn't, because you won't finish as high in the league this year as you would have done with Fulham. You might have finished 5th with Fulham. You won't finish 5th with Hamburg. That means it was wrong to leave. No, it doesn't. Just means we're doing things a different way. I'm having more fun. I will be having more fun, and I'm earning more money, and the videos are more interesting because they're different. It's good on all counts, and I don't know what to do. I want to get Shane Duffy on, because Shane Duffy is my hero. Let's get him on. There we go. We need to hold on. I'll be quite upset if we throw this away, because I've not really been concentrating on this match. But if we do manage to cling on, then we're going to qualify from our group, which, have Fulham qualified from their group yet? We'll have a look at the other groups after the game. Duffy hits the crossbar. Where are Fulham? Fulham are around. Fulham have already qualified from their group. So, well, yeah, there you go. We're exactly the same as Fulham. We've both qualified from our group after 4 games. But let's say, yeah, that was rubbish in the second half. Mainly because some idiot messed at the half-time team talk. But at least we've won a football match, which we haven't done since Ludogorets in the last episode. So hopefully we can take that momentum through into the league against Hertha Berlin with our new system and pick up a first league win for a long, long, long time. Little handful of changes for the league game then, because obviously there's only been 3 games gone and lots of fitness issues and whatnot. So Douglas Santos comes in at left back. Janicic, that's right, isn't it? He picked up an injury, so he can't play. So we bring in Matthias Vital, who normally I've played out on the wing, but apparently can play in central midfield as well. So he's going to come in to play central midfield. And we've also brought Sharp back in up front. I know Van Emmerik got 2 goals in the last game, but it was only against Zenit. And Sharp, theoretically, is our best striker. But if he's poor again today, then Van Emmerik might become the man. Who knows? I have decisions to make. I still don't have any central midfielders. The fact that I'm playing a winger and an attacking midfielder, and I guess he's playing in his actual position, but actual proper central midfielders, not a single one in this team, which is the big major problem of it. It just seems to be the theme when I go abroad. Obviously, when we went to tour a few years ago, didn't have a goalkeeper. That really was problematic, but not having a midfield is pretty difficult as well. Right, let's calmly do the underdog speech. A calm underdog speech with the Fulham tactic. If we've got any chance of pulling off an upset against a team that are up there pushing for a Champions League spot, then that's the scenario when we do it. But my difficulty in the Bundesliga, and I don't know which teams are supposed to be any good or not. I look at now the league table is starting to take shape. I'm starting to understand it a little bit more, but it's difficult to know who we're supposed to be beating and who we're not. And I think that's the big disadvantage I have coming into a league like this compared to the Premier League. At least in the Premier League, I have a vague idea of which teams Fulham was supposed to beat, which teams it didn't matter if we lost against. Whereas in this league, I guess I need to pay more attention to the pre-match odds, but I never even look at them. I assume Hertha are strong favourites for this game because they're up there in third place and they're already ahead. In which case, this is a game we don't need to worry about winning. It doesn't matter. So that then teaches me not to make any drastic decisions about the system based on this result. Whereas if it had been a home game against a team we should have beaten and we were rubbish, then we start thinking, oh, maybe this tactic doesn't work. And I do worry a little bit that in those first 10 games or so, perhaps some of those defeats that I made changes as a result of were games we would have lost regardless, and perhaps we got a little bit close to something good a couple of times, and then I tweaked ourselves away from it again. That sounds like something I'd do, but we're sticking with the 4-3-3 for now, and it's Vital in midfield, finds Ito from range, finds Chapman, Sven Chapman scores an equaliser on 32 minutes. He's already becoming a hero of the series. It was such an exciting moment that it made me cough. We all know, goals scored, Kev coughs. Well, Chapman made me cough, and it's a lovely little finish there. Good shot from Ito. Chapman's the first there, and boom, 1-1. We're going up. Can we get promoted from this league? Presumably we get promoted into the Champions League or something. That's how it works, I think, isn't it? How many people are now going to tell me that I should know how promotion and relegation works? There'll be some. I guarantee there'll be some. Right, 1-1 at half-time is pretty much as good as we possibly could have hoped for. So let's give them the pat on the head that they deserve. We're going to stay calm and, yeah, let's give them a good performance despite being rubbish. And we've done very well so far. We've controlled possession, which is what we used to do with Fulham, and we haven't been doing with the 4-2-3-1 that we've been using so far this season. So that's a positive. If we've got the ball, they're less likely to score. I think that's solid footballing theory right there. And now we've lost another midfield player, Vital, potential lower leg injury, and so we bring on Liberali, who is an attacking midfielder / striker, who is a competent midfield player. Goody. This is the problem with playing this system. The system's great, but we don't have the players to be able to do it. We need more midfield players. I might have to actually play some of those terrible ones that we signed, the panic signings at the end of the transfer window that you all loved so much. Some of them might actually get some game time just because we need midfield players. We need bodies in midfield. And is someone who's a rubbish midfielder going to be better than Liberali, who's just not a midfielder, as an example? I don't know. And I know there's going to be people saying now, Kev, you've just brought an attacking midfielder on. Play him as an attacking midfielder. Why are you playing players out of position? Because we've spent the first 10 games of the season playing with an attacking midfielder, and it didn't work. So I'll try playing him out of position. It might work. We've looked better today. Again, looking at the context of Hertha Berlin are a much better team than we are. Actually, looking at the context of it, it's been a very even match. We could still rescue a draw from it. In fact, we're charging down the right wing now with Chapman again, who can't get the crossover. And Murray's very far forward there, but luckily lunges in like a maniac and wins the ball back and manages not to foul the man in doing it. Right, we are going to bring Van Emmerik on, and we're going to bring Lang on in a second as well on that left wing, but we'll give Ito another 5 minutes to do something, just because I don't want to make all my substitutions with 20 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go, completely different matter. Let's get Marvin Lang on that left wing. And now we've got 15 minutes to let's show some passion and find an equaliser from somewhere. I'm happy with this performance. This feels like a positive, which suggests to me, because it feels like we're starting to turn things around, this will be the match where I get a vote of confidence after the game and everyone goes into panic or morale collapses and it all goes wrong. There's just a little bit of hope, and the game will now snatch the hope away from me because Kev shouldn't leave England. That's what Football Manager tell me constantly. I'm surprised Sports Interactive don't just confiscate my passport. We've lost this game, haven't we? But let's focus on the positives. That was a good performance against one of the best teams in the division. So actually, I'm not going to accept any negative feedback on that. I can't fault your effort. Exactly. Everyone's happy. If we play like that every game for the rest of the season, we'll finish mid-table. I promise. Right, we're not going to go too far into the future again because we are still on sack watch. So I think we'll probably just go to the start of December. So do another couple of league games, another Europa League game, but then do these 2 games in the league. That Braunschweig one is one we must win because they're bottom of the league. We lose against them, I suspect we go rock bottom and probably get fired. But we've survived another episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.